An incredible story out of Cook County. After falling overboard on into Lake Superior, a man was able to swim 2 miles to safety to an island that, ironically, he shares a name with. It all happened just before 10 Friday night. Joe Modick and Peter Joyce had been boating from Grand Portage to Isle Royal. And Modick told authorities he had been talking with Joyce on the way there, but at some point Joyce stopped responding. Modick looked around the boat, couldn't find Joyce, so he pressed a distress button and circled back towards Grand Portage. And while that was happening, a Grand Portage conservation officer located a man who was waving sticks on an island offshore known locally as Pete's Island. And Joyce told that officer he swam 2 miles to get there, stripped off most of his clothes after falling overboard to avoid hypothermia. And Joyce denied medical attention. Northern News Now is working to get in touch with Joyce. By the way, the surface water temperature right there was in the mid to upper 50s at the time. This all raises an obvious question. How do you stay safe on Lake Superior during rough waters in particular? Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson is live on the shore of Lake Superior in Duluth. Talked to some safety experts today, including our own Dave Anderson. What'd you learn, Kyrie?
Yeah, Dan, no matter where you are along Lake Superior here, the Cook County Sheriff tells me that the waters can be very dangerous if you're not aware, and Peter Joyce is very lucky to be alive.
It's often easy to forget about the dangers of open water, especially in the summer when people are more likely to spend time out on lakes.
Everybody wants to swim, everybody wants to boat, so yeah, our water emergencies rise significantly in the summertime.
The Sheriff's Department says they see an increase in water-related emergencies in the summer, and the Coast Guard agrees. Those could be avoided with better situational awareness and the use of life jackets. Outside of his role as a meteorologist at Northern News Now, our Dave Anderson has dedicated his life to that cause as a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary.
The #1 rule always is have enough life jackets on board for everybody and wear them at all times that you're on the water.
During the incident near Grand Portage, authorities say Peter Joyce had fallen off of a boat due to a large wave and then swam 2 miles to an island where he was found. Sheriff Eliason says the fact that he survived is highly unusual.
I'm surprised he lasted in that water, the length of time it took him to swim that distance. That's really surprising.
Anderson adds that having reliable communication tools are crucial, but being aware of your surroundings is key.
Always pay attention to your surroundings. Keep your neck on a swivel. Look forward, look to the side, look backwards as often as you can.
Our Dave Anderson also says taking a Coast Guard boating safety course would be a good idea for anyone looking to spend quality, safe time on the water. Live in Duluth, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.